Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to diversitytheater.org. And of course, I am your host, Mr. Daryl Green, and I am with the special star of Divine Right, Miss Marjuan Canady. I got that right, right?
Yes.
All right. Now, quickly, of course, I know that you are a very, very busy young lady. You have Divine Right coming out. You're doing a lot of different things. You had Girls, Girls, Girls featured on the United Solo Festival, also the Performing Arts Marathon Festival in New York City. Tell me about that. How was that?
Well, you have done your homework.
I try.
I mean, I've just been really busy with a lot of different projects.
Okay.
Like you said, Divine Right is coming out. It's a short film that we actually filmed it about a year ago.
Okay.
The director is Sade Lamar Smith. He's a UCLA film candidate, master's,
Really?
and that was I guess his first film. But we shot it in Atlanta, and it really explores just college life, really black college life.
Which is crazy. We definitely know how that
yes.
All right.
And specifically, you see that these individuals interacting the night of a frat party, and
Now, what character you do play?
I'm playing one of the main characters, and I'm a girlfriend of the lead, or potential girlfriend, and the whole night centers around the lead character, Kwame, and his interactions with Nalia, who's my character, and their interactions this night. So I don't want to give away the movie, but it premiered at the Directors Guild of America in LA about 3 months ago, and it's going to be screened at the Martha's Vineyard Film Festival and the Cannes Art Film Festival in New York this week, actually.
Now, all of this is super exciting. How do you stay calm? Because, I mean, I don't know, personally, myself, I would just be bubbling over 24/7. But you seem very, very calm and collected. I mean, do you ever, how do you ever prepare? Like, do you ever, are there still butterflies in the stomach when you go on stage, or?
Well, in terms of the screenings, it's actually like a surreal experience because I look at it and I don't think that's me up there.
Okay.
The first couple times I saw the film, I was nervous. But in terms of stage work, I think everyone gets nervous right before you get on, but I guess because this is just my life. It kind of feels like being at home once you really start performing. So.
Okay. So, now, acting, is this something that you just always knew that you wanted to do, or did you ever have, a moment where you just, said, you know what, this is what I want to do from here on out, or did you just know from jump?
Not really. I actually, just growing up, I did a lot of different things.
Okay.
And I actually wanted to be a veterinarian.
Really?
Because I love animals.
Now, veterinarian to actress, I mean, that's a...
Well, I mean, I think it actually works.
Okay.
It works well just because most actors are good at a lot of different things and are interested in a lot of things. So, my family, most of the people in my family are in the sciences. So, I've always taken an interest to a lot of different things and explored a lot of different things because of my family. But I think I didn't really start to get into performing until, I think I've always done it. I did it as I danced when I was little.
I did see some dance moves. Those were very, very nice. I did see some dance moves.
I mean, it's always been a part of my life. I played sports. I've always been very active. So I think I didn't actually start taking it seriously until I went to high school, when I went to Duke Ellington Performing Arts School. And that's when I really started to discover that I loved performing, and not just performing, but creating work. Because I write and I produce as well.
Now, speaking of that, you also, Girls, 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 your first original work, correct?
Yes.
That's also being premiered that was premiered at the United Solo Arts Festival and the Performing Arts Marathon Festival in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
So, taking a different approach, how does it feel when you actually see your work being premiered?
Oh, it's... For all those who do their own work, it's a stressful process in getting it up, but it's so much more fulfilling because it's a scary process because it's actually coming from you, and you go through doubt, and you go through you think you're gonna fail, and even a lot of things that I do in never came to fruition. But, you know, Girls, Girls, Girls was really the first thing that I said, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to put it up no matter what. And it all just started from a reading. I just wrote, you know, like 100-page play, which is insane. And people really responded well to it, and they said, you should develop it into a play. And I got some of my creative associates together, and we developed it, and we started taking it to different festivals. Then I got rejected from a lot of festivals, so I just decided I'm going to take it to colleges and schools, and in about 3 years, we went to about 60 schools.
Wow.
So that was really it was a great learning process for me, because not only was I sharing work with my peers, but I was learning a lot about producing work and marketing your work and getting yourself out there. Kind of like by default. I didn't even plan for it, but you know, I learned a lot about building your own audience and content, and it's kind of like my baby. So yeah.
So I know there had to be, of course, like you said, a lot of challenges, a lot of walls that you had to hit in trying to get that work really going and getting people seeing it. Now, of course, there are a lot of people out there probably stuck at some walls themselves. What advice would you give them to overcoming their obstacles and, you know, really staying with it and getting their work out and seeing, like, you know, some fruition come from their work?
I'd say, you know, really just identify what your passion is and figure out, you know, whatever those roadblocks are, you know, identify them, and then instead of focusing so much on what those blocks are, think about what's the solution? How do I get over it? You know, if it's money that you don't have, well, what are ways that I can get that money? Because I think a lot of times we spend so much time thinking about the negative that it weighs us down, it weighs our spirit down, and then, you know, you just kind of talk yourself out of it, that I'm not going to do it, it's too hard. But if you spend more time thinking about, okay, I don't have money, but maybe I can apply for a grant, or maybe I can reach out to my community, or even look at people who inspire you and look at the roads that they took. And I wouldn't say copy them, but I mean, people who've done, it's been done before. So it's not, I don't think artists especially, we don't have to reinvent the wheel. We are, you know, you are who you are, and just be grateful that, you know, you can share your work through your artistry. But in terms of business, I think just pay more attention to what's around you and use your resources.
Great advice. Great advice. Okay, so using your resources, was there ever a moment where, you know, where you just hit that wall? Like, you know, what really motivated you to get past it?
There's been so many times.
I know. We all have to hit them. I mean, obviously, I say you've done really well for yourself. You moved on. So, I mean, you know, there has to be some tricks to the trade.
I think it's really just, for me, I just try to stay positive and keep positive people around me. And just realizing that, you know, you have to sacrifice a lot to really do what you want to do. And the entertainment industry, the theater industry, it's not an easy industry to be successful at, but I think, especially as for people of color that are working in the industry, you have to stay positive and keep just striving for, you know, for what you want. And I think what I always do, I always identify my goals, and I have like a vision board in my room, and you know, I make little collages of like people that I admire in the industry, and I'm always staying positive, because there's so many things in society that will say, oh, you can't do it, and you know, you're not tall enough, you're not old enough, you're not rich enough. But you know, if there's more power in you just saying, I can do it, and it will just change your thinking. So I do a lot of things. I stay active, I do yoga, go to church, and I have a great group of friends that, you know, a lot of my work gets done by my close network of creative friends. So
that's great.
You have to have a good team. That's important.
Okay, well, seeing, of course, like, you said that you were inspired a lot of people. I think that, you're an outstanding young woman. You've done very well for yourself. You're very intelligent.
Yeah.
So I feel like, you're inspiring a lot of people coming up now. But who really inspires you? Who really, like, that you said that you looked at and you admired and helped get you to this next step that you are now?
Well, I'd probably say the most important person that's inspired me has been my mom. And just seeing, she's not in the arts, but she's an entrepreneur, and she's been able to balance her work life, family life, her personal life, and she's always been a go-getter, and she's always taught me that you can do anything that you want, just be excellent at it, and never sidestep and try to take a shortcut out. So I think definitely my mom, and my mom has been so supportive of everything that I do. She actually executive produced my second play.
Oh.
So
which play was that?
Callaloo.
I did see that at the Jazz Festival, correct?
Yes.
How was that?
It's I'm kind of just coming off the whirlwind because we just performed it in New York.
Tell me about that. How was that?
It was great. It was sold out. We did it in DC in January, and it was sold out there too. So it was an amazing experience. We just actually workshopped it at the Lincoln Center in New York. So it was part of the Directors Lab program there, and it was great having international directors actually kind of tear the play apart and really figure out what the story was about. So I was really honored they selected my work, and we did it for the New York audiences, and they loved it. So now we're actually turning it into a children's book. So I'm working with an illustrator in DC, a local illustrator, and we're about 75% done with it.
Okay.
So I'm excited to see it move it kind of in a different direction.
Must be exciting. Now, of course, you have Divine Right that's going to be premiered pretty soon. You have original work that you're doing. You said you have a children's book. I mean, I know you can't give away a lot of secrets, but is there anything else that you have coming in the pipeline?
Yes, actually, I have a few other
Anything that you tell us about?
Well, I am working on a documentary that is based off of my one-woman play, Girls, Girls, Girls. So we've been working on it for about a year now, and it is I want to say this right, it is a documentary that explores Black female images in the media, but it's a little bit different from a lot of the other things that have been recently produced. A little differently, no offense.
I understand.
But I mean, I think there are a lot of issues in the media and entertainment, but I try to just stay positive with that.
Now, I have one challenge for you. I mean, you said a lot of great things, a lot of great positive advice. But September is coming up. That is Women's Empowerment Month. If you could say one thing to all the listeners out there to just help them, motivate them one more time, what would that message be?
I would say, again, just figure out what your passion is and stay positive, create the world that you want to see. So, really just live every day to the fullest. Be dedicated to your work. You have to have discipline. You have to stay positive and create a team of people that really support what you do. And I think that's what diversity theater is doing is, really important. And, we need, especially organizations like Diversity Theater, to promote and support our own original work as young artists. Historically, that's how all these movements were created, just by people getting together and wanting to change and wanting their voices to be heard. So.
Very true. Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is Miss Marjuan Canady, the exciting young lady of Divine Right, and of course, as you heard, many other works coming out. This has been DiversityTheater.org. Once again, I'm your host, Daryl Green. Come back and check us out again.